so I had to take a step back, as my nephew's questions marked a yawning chasm between his heart's narrative and the drive of this art. The great Richard Feynman said, if you can't explain something to a 6-year-old, you don't really understand it. Fortunately, my nephew is 6 years old, and he loves Final Fantasy VII Remake, and he loves watching his crazy uncle get stomped. He might come to me for all this theory stuff, but I believe he's gonna get through hard mode before I do. Some of the concepts that I explained to him are definitely still muddy, but that's okay. Many of the ideas and mysteries will be explored in videos to come, and others I have purposely danced around and never will draw a magnifying glass upon. The beating pulse of all of Final Fantasy VII is to be felt, something the geniuses in the genius mastermind downloading and expressing it are masters of. Whatever an imagination adventurer feels is real. It's right in my humble opinion, and I honor it, which births the question my nephew seemed to stumble upon as I explain things. How certain am I of my theory relative to others? Is there still room for childlike wonder, or do I think I have it all figured out? I absolutely do not have it all figured out, and there is absolutely a multiverse of wonder for us all to get lost and found in. Of all I've said regarding space-time, singularities, and all this other science fiction stuff, I am only confident and not certain we're looking at a convergence. But beyond this, all that has been spoken is an effort to shine a light on the symphony that is Final Fantasy VII to remake and beyond, and to hunt for that elegant universe, that 1-inch equation, E equals MC squared, that beautifully allows life to flourish on Gaia post-remake, that sublimely simple yet perfect solution, the first 4 notes of Beethoven's Fifth. When I'm running with a theory with someone, something I still enjoy doing 3 years later, I do observe how likely it is relative to anything that contradicts with the theory, or any questions abounding from the theory that require lengthy extrapolation to explain, which doesn't make it wrong. When I asked a friend why did Sector 6 fall in Remake, and I had never played before Crisis, the explanation was quite long. However, I am far more interested in how compelling a theory is, the emotional draw, even if a theory is improbable, impossible, or later reveals itself to be false. I still love running with it. So, my top-down thoughts on the 3 near-future theories that explain the wondrous phenomena at the end of Remake that I see most often. The Lifestream theory. Zack and Soldier Cloud are in the Lifestream, but have local awareness and expression for reasons. Local meaning singular instead of non-local meaning everywhere. Possibly, Aerith is allowing them to have local awareness. Or far more sinister, perhaps, Sephiroth is the one who's allowing them to have local awareness. The theory is smoothly possible, easily explains contradictory experiences, such as a corporeal Zack Cloud walking into a fallen Sector 6, and it's a brutally tragic theory, effortlessly. This Zack and Cloud will wax and wane, laugh, fight, and all things respond to their world, and their world to them. But no matter how hard they swing their swords, their story does not end well. They're dead. The emotional draw on this theory is through the roof. The multiple timelines theory. Perhaps one where Zack survives his last stand, and one where he doesn't, amongst other changes. As with the Lifestream theory, this one explains diverging experiences quite easily. Why the Crisis Core / original church is being witnessed, yet Biggs lives, which did not occur in the original Final Fantasy VII. It's a theory that's compelling for the hurdle it must overcome at some point. How do the timelines ever care about each other? Perhaps the 2 clouds embodied will have some sort of temporal link. Many people theorize this will look like Final Fantasy VIII. Until that instant, however, the heroes of timelines will live and breathe without ever impacting each other. What ifs unending to be explored. Cloud, who remembers Zack living, will act one way in Golden Saucer on a date, while Remake Cloud, there at the same time, same date, same person on the date, flows much differently, and the worlds of Gaia evolve ever uniquely from these changes. The heroes would be known as never before. The same place, just not same time theory. Zack and Soldier Cloud converge with our beloved heroes of Remake upon the Midgar of Rebirth, but not at the same time. I.e., Zack and Soldier Cloud are there at the relative time of when Crisis Core Reunion finishes, and their journey until the common present moment at the end of Remake will be experienced in Rebirth and or beyond. Unlike the previous 2 theories, this one has many big questions that has a difficult time answering. The end of Reunion indicates that Cloud crossed the Barrens by himself, and he is on the train heading towards the first bombing mission by himself? One answer would be, that's a different Cloud. Many theorists believe that there will be an entire another set of heroes inside that Midgar that this Zack and Soldier Cloud will run into. On the other side of that difficult question, though, is a sheer uniqueness, compelling this theory into imaginations and right to the heart. If Biggs is missing an arm, alongside everything else observed at the end of Remake, we are about to find out how that happened as Zack and Cloud adventure through the city of Mako. What would have happened if Zack and Cloud leapt from the train, or otherwise impacted the story of Remake? Does Sector 7 even fall? Or is this scene the only evidence we have that it did fall, intentionally the mirror of the Sector 6 skyline, indicating that something else has happened? In this theory, we will find out, not by being told, but by directly experiencing it. And then, my nephew realized this imagination adventurer was in the same rowboat without oars on the same infinite ocean of awe-inspired wonder. The only thing keeping us warm as we look into the future is the same inner fire stoked with multiversal love. And that, my fellow imagination adventurers, would be it. However, as this week's installment does not have much video editing whatsoever, I have enough time to input the answer to many friends and comrades and my nephew's pestering. Some predictions from that crazy theory guy. Predictions for the future. I normally do not do much in the way of specific analysis of what's to come, as it inherently puts whatever you're going to experience into relative orbit around what you thought was going to happen. I prefer to enter as a child, helplessly responding to all that I take in, being whisked along on the journey wherever it should go, feeling everything. Nevertheless, 7 bold predictions. 1. The Remake anthology will be a heptalogy, 7 installments, not including First Soldier or Ever Crisis. The core of the heptalogy will be the trilogy, Remake, Rebirth, and Requiem, or whatever the third will be named. All other experiences will feel their own way, just as Reunion was different from Remake. 2. Vincent Valentine will be getting his own experience, following the renaming structure. This experience might not be the last in the series though, and if not, would not follow the same time horizon as Dirge of Cerberus. Bugenhagen can only know and explain so much. Vincent allows natural inroads to very high level questions. Where did Genova come from? However, were there multiple timelines impacting each other in the first place? Whatever the answers may be, we will experience them firsthand. 3. Zack will have 2 experiences with his perspective, Reunion and one other. In this other, he will have a party to fight alongside, people from Reunion, Remake, and possibly Intermission. 4. And as for that last experience, it could be a Yuffie, Wutai, Dark Sonnen perspective, as Sonnen is not dead. It would be carefree, fun, and riddled with tragedy. Or this experience could be a Rufus perspective, much like Before Crisis. It would be an inimitable aperture into the Shinra's fall as witnessed from within. Or Sephiroth could be the main perspective of this experience. Not a redeemed good guy, but the perspective of the enemy of a darker, more horrible enemy. Perhaps another Sephiroth. And what it means to be a monster. By blood, by worldview, but not to be inherently evil, and possibly changing that worldview. It's also possible this Edge of Creation Sephiroth, this anti-hero, might be a co-perspective in Vincent Valentine's experience, or a party member in that experience. 5. I believe the heptalogy will roughly unfurl as Remake, the beginning, the end, the great conjunction. Reunion, the past before Rebirth. Rebirth, where the perspectives flow after Remake. Then, in winter of 25, Rufus's adventure, which gives life to much of the world of Rebirth, the multiverse of Remake, and the collapse of a global empire, and its impact on millions of citizens. We will be thrown into Shinra's soft side, the good that it does. Unfortunately, this will happen as she's dying. In winter of 26, we will have Zack Fair and a heartfelt adventure, uplifting, optimistic, yet remembering that all soldiers, possibly everyone with Mako in their veins, are doomed. Cellular decay and time is ticking. Winter of 27 will see Vincent Valentine, possibly Sephiroth, bring their hearts to bear alongside their indomitable might against cosmic mysteries and evils. The unimaginable will be made corporeal. The multiversal will be made real for the individual, for better or worse. And finally, in Winter of 28, Requiem, Rome, where all roads lead to. When the credits roll, everyone will be in the same helpless state we were in 1997, wondering at all these feelings we don't have words for, from all that we and the beloved heroes went through. I humbly admit that this is a very aggressive release schedule. Before I get to the sixth prediction, I have been asked more than once, do I believe that there will be Final Fantasies in the Final Fantasy VII universe after Requiem? And the answer is, I do not know. Artificial intelligence is moving so quickly. The world of 2029 will be radically different than one right now. Just a few days ago, it was possible to run a large language model somewhat comparable to ChatGPT on a sufficiently powerful personal computer. That means around the corner, a few years from now, our personality engines, which may or may not be in Final Fantasy, but that will be explored in a video to come. Number 6. Choices really matter, and this will affect everything. Who lives, who dies, who can be redeemed, the end of the world, who dates who, and possibly even who is in whose party, will be determined by the decisions of those who have to live by the results of these choices, striking directly at the soul with their impact, just as the flower scenes and all their varying impact were determined by choices before them. 7. Love, romance, passion. In the original Final Fantasy VII, who ventures with Cloud on the Golden Saucer dates are determined by a series of choices, not made in the moment, but long predating them. And most of the choices have no causal link to the date whatsoever. All the choices do is change the feeling. The same will be heretofore, including everything that was decided in Remake. Have you ever wondered why, when you go through the Remake journey more than once, and a different decision is made, you are asked if these decisions are the ones you wish to save, because choices matter. However, there will be one significant difference to the Golden Saucer dates. I believe in Rebirth or beyond, the moment will irreversibly, inescapably rise, no matter how brief, how innocent, how unknown, how stolen. Our beloved heroes will express and experience lip-touching lip, changing them forever, changing destiny. Who will take this leap with who? We will have to wait and see. But rest assured, just like those Golden Saucer dates, choices are going to matter. The feeling is the destiny. And love changes everyone, changes everything. Imagination adventurers, until the stage light is shone upon that 1-inch equation, the finale of Act 1. This is Dream Phoenix, humbly signing off.